This morning, Remy gave us a whole story, child. So around 3 o'clock, Remy posted a screenshot of a text conversation between Papoose and another woman, and the woman happens to be world champion boxer Clarissa Shields. He fell asleep on the phone with Clarissa, right? And
that's that good boo loving.
Yeah, like he fell asleep, but she was still talking, right? And so when she heard Remy's voice, she hung up, and so the phone was still open. So she just must have started going through text messages, and this is what she found. This is what she posted too. You take accountability. Now this is Clarissa talking to Pat. You take accountability. You are the one who is married. If you can't at least sleep on the phone with me or be with me in person, it shouldn't be a big deal to let me know you made it home safe or to communicate that you fell asleep in a Sprinter. Remy shared that and she captioned this: Papoose dumbass fell asleep on the phone with Clarissa Shields, laying in my house. He refused to leave. This supposed to be a world champion boxer and get scary, and her scary ass hung up as soon as she heard my voice. Now I'm telling everything. Oh, and baby girl, you're not the only one.
Papoose got a type. And his type is women that can fight. Okay?
Yeah, obviously. Papoose shared a story. This is the only thing that he said. He said, sad to say, Remy is a narcissist. She chose to cheat repeatedly. Now that I finally moved on, she's playing the victim. I have requested a divorce numerous times. She rather clout chase on social media than handle things like a civilized adult. I didn't want to do the social media foolishness for the sake of my 6-year-old baby. She has to go to school. As you can see, I remain quiet through this all.
Okay. There is so much to unpack here. Now, just as a reminder, I have spent nearly 20 years working as a psychotherapist, and the majority of that time I've been working with couples. And I'm going to say that infidelity is not a super uncommon thing. It happens. It happens in life. It happens in everybody's life. And not surprisingly, it's happening in the lives of celebrities. The thing that stands out to me the most about this story, and what I want to caution these two people about, is going public and doing things like sharing images from each other's phones and stuff like that on social media. And let me tell you why. When you're famous, you have a large following, but let's take that out for a second. If two non-famous people were in a relationship and it started to get dirty in the same ways, one person got caught having an affair with another person, you don't want to involve outside people because it makes it messy. There's a process in our world, the world of psychotherapy, called triangulation. And anytime you triangulate anybody into your relationship, it makes it more toxic, and it produces anxiety, frustration, and it makes it harder for the children of the relationship to function in the world. So if I am not famous and these things happen, my children have to go to school, they have to be surrounded by people that have heard what's going on in their home, and children have a very hard time processing this kind of information. So just doing that, and I'm talking about non-famous people. If there's a math teacher that is married to a bank teller and they go through a messy ending of the relationship as a result of infidelity, and then they start texting friends screenshots and start talking about those things, the friends' kids hear about it, and the kids have to interact in that circle. And that is unhealthy, so it's not good for the adults, and it's definitely not good for the children. Now, when I involve fame, as is the case with Remy Ma and Papoose, I want them thinking about the kids. Now, obviously, whatever each person does, and they're both accusing each other of having affairs, but adults, like, those things happen, and we can manage it as adults, and we have to decide to end the relationship in a way that is good for the children, because the children, and I believe there's one child in this relationship that is 6 years old, but that child did not ask to be here, and that child did not need to be put into this complicated situation. You can end your relationship and just say, look, it didn't work out. We were really happy and successful together for a while, but for whatever reason it did not work out. We're going to end the relationship. Even if it's contentious, we're going to end the relationship in a way that keeps it private. Once you start sharing stuff on social media, it's like you're triangulating the entire world, and you're making the world an incredibly toxic place for this child to grow up in. In the exact same way that if I'm the child of that math teacher and bank teller I was just talking about, it becomes uncomfortable to like go to school because my friends might have heard about it from their parents, or it makes the circle in which I am growing up toxic. But that stuff will fade, and I could also move or grow up, and then the thing changes. But if you are the child of two famous rappers, you're always going to be the product of the environment that they create globally. And if they're not being really thoughtful about this, they're creating harm that is irreparable to the environment that this child will be growing up in. So that the first thing that I thought about when I saw that they were going public and they're posting things on social media, I actually thought about the child. As adults, we have to accept that not every relationship lasts, and relationships end for any number of reasons, up to and including infidelity. People end relationships while they're not getting along, and they get frustrated and they have contentious ending of relationships and all of that. And that's just part of the process of being an adult. But we have to focus on that child. So now that Papoose and Remy Ma are very likely not going to continue in a relationship, they need to shift their focus, not on getting back at each other, not on taking it out on each other, not on trying to embarrass the other, but they have to shift their focus and focus on how do we do this in a way that makes the environment that our child is growing up in, or children if they have more. But I think they only have one that's 6. They might have more. But how do we end this relationship in a way that supports the growth of that child? And if they can do that, then I think that they've ended the relationship successfully. Just because the relationship failed doesn't mean you can't end it successfully, and that should be the focus now. So if I could have a conversation with Papoose and Remy Ma, I would say, as angry and hurt as you both clearly are, and when we're angry and hurt, we want to take it out on the person who caused us injury, I need you to take a step back and remember this is no longer about the two of you. You are adults and can handle adult things. This is now about the development of that child, and we need to end the relationship in a way that supports the growth of that child in the most healthy way. And that means not being public about what is happening. That means not attacking one another. That means not taking your anger, frustrations, and hurts out one another, and focus on the child that you both should mutually love and want to grow up in a healthy environment.